Hey everybody, so today we are going to make a tiered tray. So for those of you that aren't familiar with what a tiered tray is, it's those three tiered trays that you would see people put like cupcakes on. Well, now there's a whole new phenomenon of decorating these for the holidays. So it takes up less space in your house. They look really great on a big island. And so we're going to do a Mardi Gras one. So with this Mardi Gras one, we have a king cake. We have a little easel that we're going to use to hold up some of our pieces. A cute little jester hat with feathers. We have this cute little sign we're going to put together. You'll see this. Let's see if I can pick it up without dropping all the pieces off of it. So cute little sign. All these are little wood pieces that we're going to glue down. This cute love with the fleur-de-lis that we glue down and the Louisiana we glue down. A little fleur-de-lis that it's two pieces, so we glue this together, and then it has a little stand right here. I don't know if you can really see that stand, but we'll figure that out. And then here is a little banner that we're going to create with little pieces that we are going to glue together and that we will put on a string. So my goal today is to get these painted so you can just have a little look and see what these will look like when you decorate them. This is a kit you can buy for $25, or you can do it in a class at Create Studios. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to paint this one first. I'm going to do my Louisiana green, my fleur-de-lis purple, and this background yellow. So I'm going to go ahead and do the yellow background. And if you're using craft paint, which is what most of us will use, you may need to do a couple of coats just because craft paint is more watery, so to speak. It has less pigment in it, so therefore it's more watery. Now you could also sponge paint these, which I've done that on my other video. You could sponge paint it, you could spray paint it, you could color pencil, whatever you want to do. These are cut out of MDF, so they do take paint very well. And all of these are going to be cut in-house by Create Studios. They're not actually cut at Create Studios, they're cut at my house because it's a lot easier for me to cut things out at my house. I can do it in between other things I'm working on, whereas if I did it at the studio, I would have to sit there while I'm waiting for things to cut. And so it just makes it a little more convenient for me. So while this yellow is, excuse me, while this yellow is drying before I have to do a second coat, I'm going to go ahead and move on to something else. I'm going to go ahead and move over to my king cake, and I'm just going to try to paint all the things that I have that are yellow at one time, just to save on time. And I will also put in a photo of what the finished product looks like. These are a lot of fun. I want to try offering these for all of our holidays. And I actually just finished a king cake door hanger. If you hadn't seen that video, you can watch that. I'll let that set up. I'm going to paint the little trim around the bottom of this yellow as well. Also, sometimes a clear coat, just a plain coat of white paint across everything does make it a little easier to not have to do multiple coats. And when you paint over the scored lines, as you can see here, you can still see the score line. Let me turn this light on. There we go. So now you can still see the score line, even though I've painted over it in spots. And because this is MDF, it does soak up the paint. So that also means that it dries a little quicker. And so you can kind of do your multiple coats pretty quick. So this is a cute little king cake. Now the king cake door hanger, the icing doesn't cover the whole king cake. You see a little bit of the cake sticking out, but not on this one. So on this one, I'm going to paint, I'm going to do Mardi Gras in yellow. So what you can do if you have things like this, let me show you a little shortcut. Gotta run, go get some tape real quick. And so what works good for this is to put tape down like this and just kind of, you know how you curl the edge up on itself? And this way your pieces can stay still instead of getting your fingers all taped up, gunked up with paint. So I'll just hold your pieces down like that. Like that. All your little bitty pieces, it does help to tape them down. And I probably should tape my little mask down. Give it a little bit of tape. This just makes it so much easier. When we do the gingerbread ornaments, this makes it a lot easier taping your stuff down. And who had thought something so simple just saves you so much time? So anything tiny you just want to tape down like that. So whatever my background color is, I think I might do it the green color. I'm going to do the text or the fonts or the words in this bright yellow. And sponging would probably work really good for this also. Now, if you're too messy with the paint, it will run in between the letters and sometimes stick your piece to the tape. So do try to be a little careful that you're not just globbing paint on here so you don't have to do more than one coat. You will definitely have to do more than one coat unless you are spray painting it. And even spray painting, you usually have to do more than one coat. It just usually dries in between pretty quick with spray paint. But this is acrylic and it's craft based, so it will dry pretty quick. But we have a lot of little pieces to paint, so it's not going to be a big deal. I'm going to do one of these yellow. I'll do each of those, the main Mardi Gras colors. So I'll do one of these yellow. I'll do one of these mask yellow. And I may even do a fleur-de-lis yellow. This is going to be for our banner at the top. So I know it seems like we're getting started really early, but you know, January 6th kicks off Mardi Gras season, so we got to get this rolling if people want to get them decorated and in their house for Mardi Gras. These are really, really cute, and I hope everybody really enjoys these little tier trays. And if you don't like tier tray, you don't want to have a tier tray, this would be cute just in your kitchen, on your counter. You could put it on your mantle. You could even make ornaments out of them if you wanted to keep your Christmas tree as a Mardi Gras tree. So there's a lot of things you can use these little pieces for. We are just doing it as if it's for a tier tray. Now you can make a tier tray on your own. There's lots of little demos for doing that with like dollar store stuff or cupcake trays. I actually have a tier tray I got at Hobby Lobby. They're usually, you know, every couple of weeks they're on sale, so you can get some really cute ones at Hobby Lobby. And I think that's where I got mine at. But I actually do have a wood cutout kit for a tiered tray also. And there's even kits where you can make resin pieces. Make a tiered tray with resin pieces. And they have molds you can use and all kind of, and they sometimes will even come with the mechanics to, not mechanics, that's a wrong word. The hardware, that's what I meant to say. The hardware comes with it so you can put it together, have like a little metal stem on it. And then I will show you how to love it up in the end to make it a little more fun and funky. And I love the fun and funky kind of designs. Okay, so this background is going to be green. Let's go ahead and make this piece yellow also. And the only reason I'm sitting here painting all the yellow at one time is just because I'm being lazy and I don't feel like having to clean my brushes out in between each color. But you could definitely do it. If I were just doing this leisurely at my house, I'd probably paint each one fully by itself and then move on to the next one. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to go ahead and try to knock all my yellow out at one time, which you can still do if you're doing this at home also. And let's paint this little piece right there. So you can see all our little pieces are coming together. And we are going to paint, I don't know which is going to be which. Let's see, let's do yellow, purple, green in the middle. So we'll do yellow. So I'll do 2 yellows. How about that? I'll do 2 yellows, 2 greens, and a purple in the center. And you have to be kind of careful when you're doing Mardi Gras colors because you can accidentally, like I was going to make this green. Like if I did this one yellow and this one purple, it's going to look LSU. And so there's nothing wrong with that. But if we want it to really look Mardi Gras, you kind of want to make sure you avoid putting just 2 colors together and making it LSU colors. Again, like there's nothing wrong with doing it LSU colors, but and you can do different colors. You could do gold instead of yellow. And I really wished I had some nice, pretty metallic gold. I do at the studio, but I am doing this right here at home on my counter. So I don't have any gold to use right now. But we might use some accents when we finish this up. Okay. And so let's just do this one yellow too. This is the stand for the fleur-de-lis. And I'm just doing this a quick yellow. Fun, fun. I feel like I should have some Mardi Gras music playing, but I'm scared I'd get flagged for not having copyright permission. And I'll paint this yellow. Now this one goes on some of those big beads that you see. So this is going to be a charm. So whatever beads you have, you can get a really cute little short set of those at the dollar store. And I don't have any for this workshop, so to speak, but I do have some using as a decor piece in my house. So I might just take those and repurpose them. You could also just use some Mardi Gras beads. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just use some Mardi Gras beads for that. Okay, so now we've got this, the yellow done. I'm going to clean out my brush, and I'm going to go ahead and move to the green. You always want to have a nice paper towel over on the side for you to blot. And I'm going to paint this whole thing green. I know it's an odd shape, but you'll see all the pieces come together on this. Really pretty, really cute. Now this file I purchased online. And so I did not design all these pieces. I may add some pieces into it that I've designed, but just to get rolling quickly with this, I just went ahead and purchased some designs online. And but I can sell just the wood cutouts for you if you want to just pick out the cutouts and not come to the studio to paint these and just paint them on your own. I do have some DIY cutouts that I'll do for this tiered tray, and those are $25 for the set. And that is for local pickup. If you need them shipped, there will be a shipping fee added in. Okay, so I've got this piece is yellow for this fleur-de-lis. I'm going to do this big back piece. I'm going to do yellow. I'll do green. And then maybe I'll do some purple accents on it. So we'll just paint this green and see what we need to do when we start putting it all together. And these will need multiple coats. Probably should have spray painted it white first, which may be something I'll do when we come to the class. And if you buy the kit, you could do that yourself too, spray paint it white because it kind of gives you a little barrier between it and the wood, and it also seals the wood so it doesn't sink in as much. It's not absorbed into the wood as much. And so I'm going to paint my little Louisiana green because most of the time Louisiana is very green. Right now it's very brown from all the frozen dead plants I've got around the house. And one thing I do want to say is that you don't want everything to look so perfect that it looks like it's been mass produced. You want it to look like it's hand painted. And hand painted does not mean that it's messy. It just means that it's hand painted. You don't need everything perfectly smooth with no brush strokes or anything like that. So this is the little feather that goes onto that jester hat. And let's go ahead and paint some of our pieces of our king cake. Now I'm going to come back with some paint pen to kind of accent these lines. So I'm okay if I paint over the lines a little bit because I'm going to be touching it up with black. I'm also going to use some white to accent with as well. And that really does make your stuff pop. It makes it so much fun. And so I'll show you how to do that too. So I'll let that green dry a little bit. We'll go ahead and do two of these banners. Green, and that middle banner is going to be purple. Let that dry. So Mardi Gras is really early this year, which could mean it's going to be chilly, but you never can tell. I mean, we have baking hot Christmases. I remember when I was a kid, you know, wearing shorts and roller skating Christmas Day in the cold, in the hot, you know. So really don't know what the temperature is going to be. Okay, so now I'm going to, this is going to be purple, so let's paint that green. I can paint that a little yellow and a little bit. And let's see, this mask is going to be yellow. We'll make that mask purple. We'll make that fleur-de-lis. Probably both of my fleur-de-lis should be, I'm going to paint over this white one, this yellow one, because it is going to go on a yellow piece of banner. And then that one will be purple. This one will be yellow. And then that one will be purple. And then this will be green. And okay, this will be green. And these Mardi Gras beads will be, well, we could do them a couple of colors. Whoops, I skipped, I did one too close right there. we go. And then this one will be, we'll make that purple. I'm going to mix a little of this yellow with this green, just so my feather is a little more artsy-fartsy. That. And this jester hat will be purple, and I'll put some green. Well, I'll do that later. So let's paint a little more on Louisiana. Do another coat on this. And let's see. Let's do another little coat onto this big piece. And I'm going to do a little bit more on this banner piece. I could have actually taped this down too. Then you could just slide everything. You just pull your whole thing close to you. So to put the banner together, we can use, usually I use like that baker's twine, but this time I'll probably use some actual thin ribbon I have just to make it more festive. And let's see, this is purple. This is purple. This is purple. These are purple. And that's purple, 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 purple. Okay. And a little bit, another coat on this. And then let's go to the purple and see if we can get that going. Let's see though, y'all. This looks like it may or may not need another coat. I'll have to wait and see when I get to that. Now, one thing I've noticed too is if you let your paint set out for a little bit, like I've put all this paint out, I put out before I started painting. So it kind of sets up a little bit. So as watery as craft paint can be, it does set up a little bit if you've left it, like if you've had it sitting out for a little bit. So that's one little tip too. If you know your paint's a little watery, just go ahead and put it out on your palette. I just use wax paper, and then I have like a little to-go box that I can put my paint in that's still on this little craft paper, wax paper, and I'll put it inside of my little go box and snap it shut, and then I don't have to worry about it drying out if I use it like in the next couple of days. So I'm just painting my second color of my little Mardi Gras beads here. And again, I did mess up right here and paint this one green, but I'm going to paint over it with yellow in a little bit. So then these two can be purple. Purple. And it's funny because the darker the color, the less likely you are to have to do a second coat. Now, I'm not being that neat right here doing this one. I don't know if you can really see it. I'm not really that neat because I'm going to come in with a Sharpie and clean up the edges. So this fleur-de-lis is going to be purple. Definitely should have taped that one down. Paint this purple. And you could even, like if you wanted to get really artsy fartsy, you could Mod Podge on here. So if you had a pattern, you could Mod Podge on here. I mean a pattern, some fabric or some tissue paper, you know, like you can Mod Podge the napkin. They even have a Mod Podge for tissue that you can use for the napkin. Looks really good. You can do all sorts of things with it. I'm being very simplistic with this just because I want to give everyone that takes the class the ability to be as simple as they want. And if they want to be more advanced with it, they can. I'm going to go ahead and paint this little easel purple. And for this one, I will try, if I can remember, to paint both sides. And so this is something that's going to hold our little Mardi Gras. This one right here, it's going to hold that little sign. I really wish I had a little, maybe I'll make another easel. Because most of these you just like lean up against the rail or the inside piece of the of the tier tray. But it is nice to have them with little easels if you can do it. Kind of making a big mess here because I meant to switch to my tiny paintbrush. Look how messy I was. Look at that, how messy. It's pretty messy, Tanya. I'm going to show y'all this one technique for touching up stuff really does make it pop. So now I've got the purple done. I don't think I really need a second coat on any of the purple, maybe a little bit on this one because it was kind of walking away from me. Well, maybe I'll do a little bit of coat. It's almost dry, so I'll just do a little bit more. You can put glitter on here. I'm going to go ahead and clean my brush and get me a little more yellow. Really dry that brush off because yellow is very hard to coat. Like you really need a lot of coats of this yellow. So you want to get as much of the water out of the brush as possible. And really, like I said, anything that's going to be yellow probably should have coated it did a first coat of white just to make it look a little better. And I'm seeing I was kind of messy in some spots and I see some splots of different color. Like I got some green right there on that one. It's okay if it's still there. It can be confetti. Does this yellow need another coat? Why not? Let's go ahead and go for it. Looking good, looking good. Look how festive that little banner is going to be. Isn't that cute? Just going to clean this up a little. And let's make this a little bit. Oh, look, I just got purple all over it from my hands. Okay. Well, is it from my hands or from this brush? You know, I might make this a little happy and put a little green on here and just kind of, yeah, look how cute that looks. Just making it look like it's feathery. Oh, yeah, that's looking cute. Can you see that good? A little bit better that way. And if you have rhinestones, you could glue rhinestones onto these masks. Alrighty, let's do one quick yellow coat on this. And then we'll start seeing how things are going to look layered. Oh, and I do need to put some yellow. I do need some more yellow because I need to put some yellow on these little beads that down here. I need to do another. I didn't paint the yellow yet. And if anyone has any questions, and I did not see them because I do have a hard time seeing the questions. I don't get that many questions while I'm painting, but if anybody has any questions and I don't answer them, I'll answer them in the chat afterwards, if that's okay with y'all. I'm just going to touch up my coats here. Do another light coat on these lettering. And you could do these beads all one color if you want to make them white. You know how we have those. Everybody wants the white Mardi Gras beads. If you want to do them white, you could totally do that. I'm going to paint these yellow. I may go over these little balls at the tip right there. I might go over those with some silver or gold later, if I can find my gold paint pen. Really need a heat gun. I just slung paint right here, so I got to touch up this green because I got yellow on the green right there. So you obviously don't need to be real neat to paint. Hopefully I've showed that to everyone. Okay, so now everything's going to start setting up and we'll start placing everything. So as soon as these little pieces down here start setting up, we'll start placing them. Let me go grab my glue because I forgot to bring it with me. Give me just 1 second. I'm just walking in the other room to grab my glue. So I only used 3 different colors. So I used a yellow, a bright green, and a purple. Now, most of the time I use, most of the time I use deco art, but for some reason I've just got this crazy mixture of apple barrel, purple, deco art, green, apple green, and then Craftsmart, which is, I think, Michael's brand, bright yellow. For the glue, I use this Tight Bond wood glue. It has not failed me yet. I don't even attempt to use the squirt bottle because it clogs up so much. I just untwist the top and squeeze out a glob onto my counter. I mean, not my counter, onto my little, what do you call this? Wax paper. Put your top back on because this will dry out. And then we're going to just start looking at how things are placed. So I'm going to scoot this aside. This is pretty much finished. It just has to dry. So I'm just going to set this aside. And let's see. So we got this. And then this yellow is going to sit. Oh, let me get it up. And it's just going to go like that. Sitting right there. It is still wet, so we're just going to leave it for a little bit. So we're going to look at this one. Okay, so it's got all this crazy shape to it. So the reason it's shaped like this is because, and I think it goes like that. So it's got these cute little arrows. So these little arrows, I think one goes like right there. And you kind of look at the shape of the outside. the shape of this and see it's got two little curves there. So this kind of goes like, look at that. I've done messed that up. This is why you don't rush it. So I had a glob come down from being on the tape down here. So anyway, so that's going to go there. So what I'm doing is just put my finger in the paint to kind of clean up that spot. So that's going to be there. And then the beads, these little beads right here are going to go right here and right here. Right here in this corner are these 3 dots that are painted like beads. And then it's going to say Mardi Gras, y'all. Maybe I'll let that dry a little bit more. Mardi Gras. Y'all. Every time I write y'all, I get confused on where I'm supposed to put the apostrophe. So I'm glad it was already on there. Okay. So we got that. Now, excuse me. You can also think about these banners. So what's going in the middle is going to be this jester hat. It's going to go right here in the middle. Like that. See that? So I'm just going to put a little glue and glue this. So I usually just use my finger and I just tap the glue down on this. I just got my fingernails, so it's probably a dumb thing to do, but hey, what do you expect? And then we're going to put this on here. And it's going to stick off the edge, what I think is going to look really cute. And just press. And this glue sets up good. See, I did get some that kind of ghosted when I pressed it down, but it does dry clear, so it's not really that much of an issue. And take our fleur-de-lis off. Our little mask off. That's still got some paint up under it, so let's clean that off. And we can even touch this stuff up after we've glued it down if we have to. So we're going to do fleur-de-lis on these. So let's go ahead and scooch this out the way for a bit. And I'm going to put some green on the back of this fleur-de-lis. Some glue on the back of this green fleur-de-lis. Good Lordy, I can't even speak. Now, in the workshop, it's going to be much quicker. Much slower. I'm not going to rush people like this, but I'm just trying to get something cute done. And then you can really easily center it by looking at the little divot right here. Look how cute that looks. So on this fleur-de-lis, I'm going to use the purple fleur-de-lis. So this one is going to look very LSU-y. But that's okay. All righty. Now, one thing I did notice is that I've got some green right there on the edge. I guess I covered it and it didn't really cover it very good. So there we go. So there's that one. And that yellow is going to dry more matching. And then we've got the little Mardi Gras masks. So we're going to do the same thing with those. Put a little glue on the back. You could also use a paintbrush, but I tend to, when I'm doing this kind of thing, I get sidetracked and then I run my brushes. So, and should I do the mask straight up and down like that? Or should I kind of tilt it? I think I'll try to do straight. Problem with doing straight ones is that you seem to never get the other one to match. So I'm going to pull that down here while I'm doing it at the same time so I can at least use it as a reference. Okay, let's see. Pretty close. Okay, so I got those two. So I got the banners done. So let's let them dry before we try to tie these. And this might take another session to finish the whole thing off. So I do know this piece glues onto this. So let's go ahead and, this is a little stand for the fleur-de-lis. And it looks just like a little belt buckle. Okay. And let's put this Louisiana down. And these wood glue, I mean, this wood glue is awesome. I use it all the time. Okay, so on these, you're still gonna see the yellow behind it. So you do have to kind of position it so that you can still see some of that yellow. So it looks good. Yep, that looks good. That looks cute. And this fleur-de-lis, I do that brown on it. I'm scared to pick these up right now to show you after I've glued them. Let me let them set a little bit because I don't want them to start sliding. I want that glue hold a little bit before I pick it up. And this little purple fleur-de-lis. Another good tool to have in your arsenal is just like a little fingernail file. See, how did I close? Yeah, that's cute. Okay. See that? Isn't that cute? So you can see that yellow behind it. Okay, so now we've got these letters, and let's see what we can get going on this. So we'll glue this yellow one down. And you don't need a ton of this wood glue. Just dabbing it with your fingers good because it's not going to be under any pressure. And I do that like this. I'll see some people use E6000. I prefer to use wood glue. E6000 is a great glue, but it is for non-porous surfaces. So I find it's kind of awkward using it for wood because wood is not non-porous. You know, wood is very porous. So I think it's kind of overkill. I do see a little blotchiness up here from when I tried to cover that purple. It didn't really cover that good. So let's see if we can get that covered. I need to let that dry a little bit. And then let's see if I can get this yellow a little bit more covered. May end up having to come in and make this gold just because this yellow does not seem to want to cover. I don't know why. The same yellow from everywhere else just doesn't like. I mean, it doesn't seem real covered on the other spots either, to be honest with you. So it probably just needs numerous coats of paint, which I will touch up after the fact because I want to get this as much done of this as possible for the, this is almost 45 minutes. I don't want to take all day doing this. So let's go ahead and glue this onto the jester hat. If you can hear my dog over there eating and jangling our chain. So I'm just tapping in the glue with my fingertip. And then I'm just going to put that right there. Cute, cute. This needs a lot of touching up. And this one, I wish it was dry quicker because I really want to put these pieces on here. But isn't that cute? So this would go a little higher. A little higher. Y'all, would be like that. Then this one, let's see if I can pop these off. 1, 2, 3, and this one. Oof, these are stuck. And then I moved it with my finger. But I don't have any glue on these yet. I'm just positioning. Just trying to position. See how you have to place your outside pieces and then kind of move everything around, and that's going to go right there. So that's how that's going to technically end up. So I'm going to go with glue this piece next. We'll put this outside piece next. I'll put this piece, and I'm going to put these last because I don't really even care if those are on there. I mean, I guess I need something in that edge, but we'll see how they look. Okay, so then I'm going to put y'all. And I'm just going to work my way up. And I'll put Marty will go there. Some of these you might need some tweezers with just to move stuff around, but we're just going to go for it. And make sure you don't put your stuff upside down. Look at it before you drop it in. That one's looking cute. I just noticed I did not paint the back side of the easel, but that's okay. Nobody's really going to see the back side anyway. There's Marty. Now let's put these little dots in. They're supposed to be beads. This green is the exact same color as the background, so I don't know how well it's going to look. We'll play with it. Alrighty, so all that's glued down. All this is glued down. That one's drying. This is drying. This is glued. These are glued. So I'm going to go get my markers, and I'm going to show you what I do on like something like this. Give me just 1 second. I should have grabbed it a second ago when I was in there. And so I am just using a black and a white, but if you had a gold, that would be awesome. And so since this is so yellow, I'm going to just go ahead and use the black to kind of do some accents. So what I like to do is this accent, I do a line and a dot and a dot and a line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot, line. It just seems to add a little bit. So like line, dot, or line, dot. Sometimes I do 2 dots. See how cute that looks? And so I'll do line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot, line. And I do it up on the edge. My hand keeps sticking into the tape here. And then here I'll do line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot, line. And then around Louisiana, line, dot, dot, 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 line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot. And then here I'll do line, dot, dot, line, dot, 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 dot. You can't really see it on this. It's so skinny. And then sometimes I like to come back. I haven't done it on this one, so I hope I don't mess it up. You see how it makes it pop? And then I'll come back on the other side right here, and I'll do dot, dot, line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot, line. And the only reason I did dot, dot is because that one ended in a dot. This one ended in a line. So I just did dot, dot next. It doesn't matter. You can do, like here, I'm just going to do line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot. So it's kind of like the little highlight side, you know. There's no rhyme or reason. So that's how that came out. Can you see that good? It's kind of dark. Okay, so that's what I'll do. And so I'll come back. See, like this one is so messy. So messy. See those rough edges right there? Is it focusing? So what I'll probably do is when this dries, I'm just going to outline it with the black. For these, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the line, dot, dot, line, dot, dot, line, dot. Okay, first I'm getting rid of this because it's driving me nuts. My hand keeps sticking in it. Okay. One thing too, never color over wet paint with your paint pens. Never do it. It will mess up your stuff. But this does really give you some fun accents on your stuff. And if you want, you could just use dots. If you want to just, like there, just put dots on the side. So however you want to accent it. But I do think accents really, really make your piece pop. See those? So that's what ties it all together. It doesn't matter how messy your paint job is. When you come back in and you start putting these little accents in here, it just makes your stuff come to life. Okay, so we got this one done. I need to add some accents to this. This one done. These little ones done. This is still drying. And I'm going to finish all these up and I will post what they're going to look like. And I just want to thank everybody for watching this. And I'm going to keep working, but I don't want to keep y'all all night long here. But I'm going to clean up some of these. Like this gesture one, I really need to clean up a little bit. And hopefully it won't look so bad when I clean it up. And then if you're interested in coming to the workshop, where we'll be doing them all in the studio, I will post the link to that. This is actually my sample piece I've got to finish and take a picture of so I can use it to promote the class. So if you haven't seen it, if you don't see it promoted yet, it's probably that I haven't finished it yet. Look, just that little bit, look how much better that's looking. So that big old fat wad of outline right there. But other than that, people aren't going to notice that kind of thing. I mean, you and me will because we're making it, but anyone else probably would not even notice it. And if I really wanted to, I could come back over that with some black paint. And it's awfully dark. I don't know why it's so dark. And clean that up. I'm going to clean this one up, love it up a little bit, put some highlights into that. And then fix this one, glue this together. As soon as this is dry, I'll glue all this together. And this is how this little easel thing works. You slide it together like that. Look at that. Look at that little easel. And then your piece will stand up like that. Isn't that cute? So all these other pieces will go on our tiered tray. This, when the other piece is glued, it'll stand like that. It'll be thick enough that it'll stand up like that. But I have to glue this on here first, and this is still really, really wet. So anyway, these are the pieces to our tier tray. It's fun. It's loved up. And I will share the picture with y'all shortly after it dries. And you can see how much fun it will be. So this is actually one, this little piece is one that's going to be a charm. So you could actually draw feathers on it, whatever you want to make it, you know, more to your liking. So, I mean, I just did this little bit and it already looks a lot better. I mean, just little bits. So just the investment of black and a white paint pen will really make these things pop. And like I said, I don't want to keep y'all all night. We're almost at an hour. I'll see how far I can get with this in the next couple of minutes or seconds. I really want to accent the beads that are on this piece. And see how this looks. And I'm just doing a little bit random dots on here just to kind of give it some depth. See, just doing that little semicircle under the beads really makes it pop. And then you can also come in and